So when I was going over the homily for today, first time it was about an hour and 45 minutes. So I'm like, might want to cut that back. And the reason that it took me so long the first time when I was going over this is because there's so much. It's John 6. That's like the bread of life discourse. Like, you don't just say like 2 minutes about that and then call it a day. We could do an entire week-long conference, 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the evening, 7 days a week, and not even like scratch the surface of that. So I'm going to do my best. We're going to talk about bread. Now, bread is really good. Oh my gosh. Father Neil over at Epiphany, when I was there, he got this bread maker. Now, he loved to like try new experiments and all these different kinds of bread. And the tough part about that is I just love to eat bread. Especially when you put it in the toaster with some nice butter on there. It tastes real good. It was really filling, and I just loved every minute of it. My waistline, not so much, but I loved it. But there's a difference in that, because like once I'd eat that bread, delicious, and then I moved on with my life. And there's a difference, a very severe and extreme difference between the delicious bread that we eat and this, the Eucharist. It's not just ordinary bread. And if we are to think or to say that it is ordinary bread, shame on you. Shame on you. We are Catholic. We believe that it is the body, the blood, the soul and divinity of Jesus Christ. No ifs, ands, buts, or ors about it. That's what it is. And it is something so much different than just a piece of bread that you could bake in an oven. It's so much different. And why is it so much different than that? Because it is something so much more than that. There is this word that we like to throw around as human beings, and it is called happiness. And happiness is great. Happiness, we all want to be happy, don't we? I do. But the thing with happiness is that happiness is a temporal or a worldly quality of the body. Happiness is something that can end. Happiness is something that fulfills us for like a little bit, but then when something else comes along, it's gone. It's like that bread that Father Neil would bake. It'd be really good, but then it's gone. It goes away. We move on with our lives. It's not something that benefits us in the long run. But joy is so much better than happiness. Joy is this. As happiness is to the body, joy is to the soul. And it persists and admits amidst affliction. Joy persists and amidst affliction. Meaning that we can be joyful even when life sucks. We can be joyful even when all the crap around this world is just plummeting on top of us and we feel like our world is about to crash and burn. We can still be joyful in the midst of that. Don't believe me? Look at that dude up there. You think that was a happy moment? No. And anyone who thinks it was a happy moment, you're dead wrong. That was a moment of joy. Because he did it out of love. Joy is something that persists even in the midst of tragedy. Joy is something that pierces through everything. Because joy is with our soul. Happiness is bodily, and it's not even that great. Happiness, it's fine. But joy is so much better. Bread is great, it's fine, but the Eucharist is so much better. Why have something that can sustain you for like 15 minutes when you can have something that can sustain you for eternity? It's like 10 seconds or eternity. Our pick. Which one do we want? Do we want this feeling of happiness or this like regular bread that will go away and be diminished over time? Or do we want true joy, something that pierces our soul and allows us to have joy-filled lives even in the midst of struggle? If we want that, then we want the Eucharist to help us with that. The Eucharist is the true bread from heaven, Jesus Christ himself, where he said, I am the bread come down from heaven. Next week, I'll give you a sneak peek. Anyone who eats this flesh and drinks my blood has life within you. We are to receive the Eucharist. We are to receive Jesus Christ himself. That is not a small thing. That is a big deal. That is something that pierces the soul. So, my brothers and sisters, it is our choice. Do we want to be happy or do we want to be joyful? Do we want bread or do we want the Eucharist?